Hello, we are back. What's good? Good
What's up,
morning,
y'all?
Bree.
Good morning. Good
What's going on,
morning. It's a
girl?
beautiful day. I'm visiting in laws in Atlanta for the Thanksgiving holiday, about to go on a little mini vacation. But it's been good. How are you?
I'm good. Chilling, posting on social per usual, trying to make sure everybody has these links. I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving, though. Um, we enjoyed our Thanksgiving, like Bree said. She was visiting family, and I just hung out, rested up a little bit. Um, so we took a little break, but we're back with biscuit and gravy in the morning. I'm so excited. I missed this. I actually enjoy it.
Same, I do too. I really like it's fun because we get to really be candid and unfiltered and all the things.
All the above. Okay, so I am Stephanie. That is Bree over there. I always do that, but you know what? Now that we're doing podcasts, nobody can see us. You can see us now, but you guys, we started a podcast. So you can hear all the audio. Of course, our video is still on YouTube, but you can see all the or listen to all the audio on our podcast, and the links are on all of our bios. I would put it here, but we don't have it's not clickable. So maybe we'll put it in the comments or something like that later on for you guys. But I'm Stephanie. That is Bree, my sister. We are sisters. We are the owners and founders of Power Portions, and started this a little while ago. Just looking to help athletes get more than what we were given while we were playing. And now we're here. We have two divisions: sports and general wellness, diet for you wellness, wellness for the um, multitasking millennial. I'm really excited about that because that is who we are. So yes. So kind of let's really dive into our topic for today. We always have to have our first question. Oh my gosh, everything is not okay. Let's just dive into our first our topic because it's not up. Um, So this month we're talking about the gifts that keep on giving, and today we kind of want to talk about the breakdown of the best things you can do for yourself as an athlete that your future self will thank you for. Um, what do you think about this topic, Brie?
I mean, I think this is a really important topic because as athletes, there's always something that you think you can do for yourself, right? To kind of advance your career. And I know for me, when I was playing, I always was looking for something, right? Like if it was a supplement, if it was the new trainer or like certain shoes or whatever, like there's always something that you feel that you can be doing to really advance your game. And it doesn't always have to do with nutrition, but it can be across the board. But I think every athlete has something that they're like, oh, yeah, like this will take me to the next level.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay. So when you were playing, and I guess this kind of applies to all of us and anybody that's watching this or listening, when you were playing, what do you think was the best thing you could do for yourself to help you advance your game or for your audience? Um, what do you think?
I would say for me, the number one thing that I did to advance my game, I don't know. I feel like it was always some sort of something I could like take to make me feel like I had energy. So like I remember
Hmm.
at one point in time I was like really into like glucosamine and like for my joints
Yeah.
and my um, so that's something I thought I could really, that would really take me to the next level, but I wasn't like thinking about anything else, like the overall nutrition that could actually help me. But that was
Hmm.
one thing that I definitely tried as an athlete, thinking that it was going to be the end all be all. It wasn't.
Yeah, I think trying to learn more about hydration, um, because I feel like, I mean, like we talked about before, I dealt with cramping really bad.
Hmm.
And learning more about hydration pre, during, post, like what I'm really supposed to be doing, and how it affects your game and practice and everything like that. I think that would have been really cool. And then um, I feel like early on, and even in college, just anything that has to do with injury prevention.
Hmm.
Because, if anybody knows, I dealt with a lot of injuries since I was 11, and anything that um, I could have done, either nutrition wise, supplement wise, exercise wise, just being more knowledgeable in that area to advance my game. I think
Hmm.
I didn't learn those things until later on. But I think
Hmm.
when, as things advance, I think the knowledge got better on what you should be doing at a younger age if you're going to be playing, and kind
Right.
of the layout of that. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's kind of what I would probably do to, or at least gain some more knowledge in that area. Um, okay, so let's dive into the overall picture. What would you say are the best things that athletes can do for themselves that would really take them to the next level?
I would say number one is going to be, don't underestimate the power of assessments. I think it's really easy to kind of go based off of what you anecdotally feel, right? So like what you tried before, what felt like it worked, and then, also kind of just like relying on kind of trial and error, like, oh, this looks like it could be popular. Let me try it out and just see, it there's a lot of margin for error
Yeah.
when you're just guessing, right? I mean,
Hmm.
obviously assessments aren't going to be perfect, but they're going to get you closer to the mark than you just taking a stab at it, right? Or this worked for me, it's high school, I'm going to go with that, even though like you're dealing with all of these other symptoms and things that are hindering your performance and you're still sticking to it.
Right.
Like, don't, it's okay to get assessed and to figure out what's going on, like lab
Yeah.
tests, VO2 max scan, DEXA scans, things like that. Who, I mean, even particular assessments in other fields that aren't related to nutrition. Like either way, don't underestimate the power of getting assessed because your body changes on a year-to-year basis
Hmm.
as you get older. Like you're a different athlete when you're 30 than you were when you were 20. And that's just what it is. Like, there's some things that I wish I could
Facts.
do now in my 30s that I was easily able to do whenever I was 20. I mean,
Not happening.
when I was 20, I could get out the bed,
It's not happening.
no creaks, no bones cracking, nothing. I just popped up. That doesn't happen
You
anymore.
know, I think that's a big thing. Like when people say things change when you turn 30, things really change when you turn 30. Like it's not the same. Like I have to double think, like what do I have to do in the day? Like that should be, I base my workouts around, am I gonna have like a really like long day? Am I gonna be on my feet? Like my knees, I don't need my knees to be irritated or something like that. Like the cold weather, all of that. Just a mess.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. So I think we can all be in agreement. Your body is going to be different as you grow, as you get older, as you mature. Do not underestimate the power of getting assessed. So that's my number one. Number two, feel like an athlete. Like, okay, It's so easy for even the top influencers to get influenced, right? So as an athlete, you have
Mm-hmm.
a really high profile, you have a high platform, you know, a lot of people look up to you, you're an influencer, but you are not immune to the trap of influencing. So there's going to be people you come across on Instagram or whatever platform you follow, YouTube, it doesn't matter, and they're going to be promoting some diet. You might come across a Netflix documentary or something that's going to be like, oh, this is what you need to do. I'm not going to name any names, but this is what you need to do in order
I'm just gonna
to
sip my tea.
perform. I mean, if y'all are watching this on YouTube, we're sipping our tea with our pinkies up because there's stuff that's out there that might be
Somebody
backed.
somebody tell Netflix to let us do a documentary
No
because
one needs to put a camera on us. This is our problem. But
we
seriously,
need a camera. We need a
you know,
camera.
there's going to be things out there that are going to tell you that this is what you need to do in order for you to perform your best. And like there's really, if anybody's ever saying that to you, it's not true. Like there are so many different components to performing your best. And one of
Yeah,
those things is making sure you're eating enough, making sure you're putting enough in your body. But if you're following all the fads and you haven't taken the time to actually reach out to a professional that can help you get from point A to point B, that gives you individualized recommendations, then you can find yourself underfueling. And underfueling
yeah,
is real. Disordered eating is real, and the consequences can last long beyond your career. So it's really important to fuel like you're an athlete. Like, don't forget that. And I think, I
yeah.
don't know, like, am I alone in this? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
No, I mean, I just, it this makes me think about like, I think in college was when I'll say protein shakes and like sports shakes have always been like a thing, but like, during that time, once again, we're not going to say any names, but
Real
there
life.
were different shakes that were like popping, and they were trying to tap into the athletic community, and I remember trying them and I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm about to throw up my stomach. Like my stomach would cramp so bad because I thought, I can have like a shake before practice. No, no.
Hmm.
And that's when I really learned like I can't drink whey protein and different types of stuff that I
Hmm.
didn't know. Now I know that, certain things that are in certain sports drinks or meal replacements and stuff like
Hmm.
that that I can't have for my body. It doesn't work for me. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Hmm.
But I didn't know that in college. So you're trying out all these supplements and shakes and everything, and you don't even
Right.
know like
Yep.
your body is going through it. But who knew that? I didn't know
Exactly.
in college. We didn't know in college. Like it
Yeah.
was trial and error, but the thing is, like, nobody told us. We had to find
Right.
out on our own,
Yeah.
and that
And
was
you're
the problem.
thinking, in my experience, you want to tag it to everything else, right? Like
Yeah,
you want to tag your symptoms to everything else. It's not the money that you just spent on those shakes, you know,
yeah,
that probably didn't do the best thing for us, you know, but instead I'm going to tag it to, well, if we wasn't up at 5 a.m. running miles, then I wouldn't feel this way, you know, like it's always something else that
yeah,
is like the problem. But I think that's just a good reminder, like, fuel your body. You're an athlete, you're putting out a lot of energy on a regular basis. It's so important to put it back in, because
yeah.
you really want to be available, right? Availability is the most important thing that you can have as an athlete. And if you're dealing with soft tissue issues, or you're dealing with bone issues, or you're dealing with low
Mm,
energy and you're not recovering
all of
properly,
that.
so you're dealing with inflammation, right? Like you're not going to be
Hmm.
available. So fuel like an athlete. Um, Number
Hmm.
3, you touched on this already. Like it's so important to hydrate.
It's
Like
key.
it can literally be the 1% difference that you need to get you over the top, right? So like everybody's always talking about, well, they always reference football, but it really counts for everything. Like it's a game of inches, right? It's a game of inches.
Yeah.
It's a game of percentages. And y'all, don't like hydration is so important. It is so easy to get dehydrated. And I mean, you literally talked about like dealing with cramps. If you've heard our other podcasts, y'all heard about
Yeah.
the mustard recommendations our dad gave. like
I really
hydrate
wish he
yourself
sees
because
this.
I know we need to get him on the show, y'all. Hey dad, if you're listening. Hey
I
mom
don't know if
too.
we need him on the show.
Um but
No
seriously, like
telling
if
what
you
stories
like the
he'll tell.
hydration, I know. The hydration is really important because it really can impair your performance. Even just like if you're losing over 2%, of your body weight from fluids, then the research shows that your performance can be impaired significantly. So
Yeah.
I don't know, like kind of talk about, I guess, your experiences with dehydration and even something we saw in the news. Like, okay, like what are your thoughts?
Yes, so we got to talk about that, and I'm like excited to. I'm really just glad that they're talking about it more because behind the scenes we talk about hydration all the time. Like I said before, I dealt with hydration and cramping every single game almost, and so, just backstory, and I'm going to tell this story again. Like before every single game, I would either drink pickle juice or like I would have 2 to 3 packets of mustard. So I had to have it, and that was all the way up to um, pros. Like I ended my career doing that pregame because of the electrolytes, I guess the salt and everything that I was getting from it, and it seemed to have helped. I still cramped a little bit, but it was just something that I had to have. But I think also, I mean, I didn't know during, in college, there's other things you're doing outside of just playing and, like going home, drinking water. Like I like my wine. I like to have a drink before I go to bed or something like that if I'm stressed. But like in college, you don't know, like, okay, if you have that, you should also drink a bottle of water or something like that. So it's like, then I'm waking up trying to get ready for workouts. So it's crazy how like
Exactly.
now I can pinpoint like, you know what, that was not the best idea. And I probably shouldn't have been doing that. But now, okay, so hot topic. Duke men's basketball player, and please, y'all, if I say I know I'm about to butcher his name, I hope I'm saying it right, but
Paolo.
Paola, Paolo,
I think it's Paolo.
Banchero,
Mhm.
Paolo. So he's been dealing with cramping, and they're saying that he loses up to or around 7 pounds per game. And let me be clear, there's a lot of games being played in in college, and that's not including.
Mhm.
They didn't even talk about practice and training. So
Right.
he's losing a lot of sweat, and he's been
Mhm.
dealing with cramping really bad. And they did talk about um, there's a sports drink that they're trying out with him right now. I can't remember the name of the sports drink, but that's beside the point. But they're trying to figure it out, and they're just like, we don't. I mean, he loses an excessive amount of
Mhm.
sweat when he plays. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
7 pounds is a lot of weight.
That's a lot. And you know what's happening when he's cramping? He's on the sidelines. As talented as he is, right? Like this kid is the real
Yeah,
deal, y'all. I don't know if y'all have seen him play, but the kid is nice.
he's
The kid is
legit.
nice.
He's
Like, I'm not
good.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's good. And they need him out there, right? This is Coach K's last season,
Hmm.
right? I don't know if he's retiring
Yeah, I
after this,
think
but
so. Could
but
be.
the kid is good. I mean, he's what I saw, he looked like he could go lottery. And the
Yeah, like
problem
he's
is,
one and done.
yeah, there's no way. I mean, I would be shocked if he stayed longer, but he might have to if he can't get out there on the court, like because he's on a
Yeah.
roll. So I think I watched him play. I don't know. It was one of those preseason tournaments, I guess, and
Hmm.
he had literally gotten on a roll, and he's balling like fade away,
Yeah.
dream
Yeah.
shake, like jumpers, and then
Like
he's
legit.
hobbling one leg up the floor, and it's like, well, what's wrong? And then he's having to go get tended to on the sidelines. So That's
And
what I'm talking
he's
about.
so mad, he'd be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, because he wants to be out there. Like, it's innate for an athlete to want to be out there, right? And so we've
Mhm,
talked about
mhm.
availability so many times. Gift yourself some hydration, y'all. Gift yourself some hydration with some electrolytes in it. So I'm sure that's what I'm sure his team dietitians are
Yeah,
on that, because I know they have dietitians there. So I'm sure they're on it and trying to figure out what the best solution will be, because everybody is different and you really have to look at sweat rate, sodium losses, things like that, which is something we do in our practice.
yep,
And
I was just
so,
about to say, they
yeah.
they were saying on ESPN that, they've been putting him through sweat tests and seeing, like, what's going on, so, I mean, I'm sure they're probably having to do it every single day and just, getting as much data as possible,
Yeah.
because, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah. I mean, figuring out your hydration can be a game changer. So,
Mhm.
well, let's go on to the other things so that we can actually like give y'all the full slot of things that you can do for yourself. Number 4, don't sleep on sleep. Y'all,
That's one thing I never did. Imma get my sleep.
Steph is great with sleep. She'll nap at the drop of a dime, y'all. It doesn't matter.
I'm out.
Now, I, on the other hand, will burn the midnight oil and then decide that my body decides for me. I can't nap during the day. And I mean, I would tried to do it when I was playing, but I can't do it now. But the thing about it is, like, when you're not getting the sleep that you need, it can impact a lot of things, right? So like, there is studies on basketball players, and even Andre Iguodala did a sleep study, and it showed how reaction time, free throw percentage, accuracy, all of those things decreased or were impacted in a negative manner by just 1 hour of sleep deprivation. So that's
Really?
the thing, is like, it can make a huge difference. So you might be stringing together nights where maybe you're doing a lot of traveling. So we have overseas athletes that have crazy travel schedules and they're traveling
Mhm.
from country to country, 15 hours here, 10 hours there. And so even that can impact your sleep. Or maybe it's something you're choosing to do. Maybe you're up all night on the video games, on the sticks, missing out on sleep,
Mhm.
and you think that you can just roll out of bed the next day at 6 a.m. for a lifting session, but really, like, you're not getting the most out of that workout because you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
It can impair your recovery, your inflammation. It can change, the nutrients that you're trying to get in your body. There was some research that talked about how when you don't get the rest that you need to, the next day you're more likely to crave foods that have maybe higher carb, higher fat, higher sugar content than you would if you were to actually get like really good sleep. And so that can change the trajectory
Mm.
of your day as a whole. I mean, it really can change everything.
Yeah.
So when you think about that and you think about how inflammation can be tied to that, how are you supposed to recover and do all this strenuous work day after day when you're not getting the nutrients in that you need? So, in a
Mhm.
nutshell, like, get some sleep, lay down,
Yeah.
be mindful, put the screens down, get some rest. I don't know. I mean, I know you got
Yeah, I
sleep.
mean, I did, but my sleep is different from yours. You can string together 6 to 8 hours. I string
That's true.
mine out, like, through the day. So, like,
Yeah.
I will get my naps because when I go to bed at night, I probably went to bed at, like, 2, 3 a.m. and have to wake
Yeah.
up in, like, 2 hours.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
for me, I string together that 6 hours at least somewhere in the
Mhm.
day, as opposed to
Yeah.
getting it all at one time. So it works for me. I'm not quite sure if that's the best route once again, but that's just how my body is, like I
Yeah.
know when I need to go to sleep or I need my 30 minutes, then it's
Right.
nothing's functioning for me if I don't get the 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Well, and you mentioned, I mean, just like you said, like, everybody's different, just like you said, like, what works for you might not work for someone else and vice versa. And then you mentioned something earlier about like alcohol, and like alcohol, in the professional realm, you can do it, right? It's not illegal for a professional athlete to drink a glass of wine. Like it's very common.
Mm-hmm.
But if that, cocktail that you're having is 15 minutes before sleep, you can rest assured that even though you don't notice it, it's changing the quality of sleep that you're getting. So there's little things
Mm-hmm.
like that can really impact it, that tend to creep in when you become a pro, because you have more leeway to do that and you're making your own decisions. That doesn't mean they're great.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, it doesn't mean you can't have it, because I mean, wine has some great properties to it. So, but at the end of the
You ain't got to
day,
tell me. But you know what? Another thing is like taking sleep aids because
mm,
depending on how your body takes it, there were certain things I could not take because it would literally take 24 to 48 hours to get out of my system.
yep, yep.
And medicines and different things like that. So it's almost like, you have to be conscious of every little thing that you're doing.
Yeah, you're right, for sure. So, I mean, all right, y'all. So clearly, get your sleep.
Last but not least.
Last but not least, number 5, invest in your team. Invest in your team.
Mhm.
Stop trying to piece it together. We are professionals for a reason. Okay. Like people go to
We do
school,
this. This is what we do.
like, your PT, your physical therapist, your doctor, your chiropractor, your psychologist or psychiatrist, your dietitian, your athletic trainer, all of these people, your strength and conditioning coach, your sports specific coach, all those people have gotten extensive education for their specialty. You might not have that. What you have is the talent, right? You have the talent, you have the dedication, you have
Yeah.
the will, you have the platform. You're in the spot that you want to be in. Put the pieces around you to help keep you there, right? Hard to get in, hard to
Hmm.
stay in. And you want to stay in there, you need to put the right people around you to help you preserve your professional worth and availability, because it's so important. The clock's ticking, right? Like we're young, but our careers are over. Like
Yeah.
they're gone and we're never gonna get that back. Like we can't, like, even though we talk about we can still go get a bucket, like you can still go
We
get
will
a
still get a
bucket.
bucket. I will
Even though
still
we
ball
talk
out.
about that, we joke. We joke, but we really probably can still get a bucket. But anyway, I digress. Um, like our careers are over though, and we can't get
Yeah.
that back. So, some of the best advice we can give to you guys, this gift that keeps giving, is put your team together that can help preserve your professionalism and your availability, because there's people out there that have dedicated years to learning more about how to help you in that particular realm. So
Hmm.
for us,
Hmm.
we've dedicated years to learning more about how nutrition can change your performance. Okay. Put the right
Yeah.
people around you. Don't be afraid to invest in that, because your career is not going to last forever. So you want to maximize the time that you have. I wish I would have done that. I did in certain areas,
Yeah.
but I really wish I would have done that more as an athlete.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that was one of the main reasons why we kind of tapped into building power portions, because there were things that we felt like we should have gotten and we didn't. And now that we know, like we're bringing that to the table for the athletes that are coming up, because obviously, like I told you guys before, the nutrition aspect was something that I wish I would have been able to implement way earlier than the last few years in my college career and into my professional career. Like that was a game changer for me. I needed that. There were certain things that I just didn't know, and we learned on the go and on the fly and implemented it, and it ended up being something that changed my career. And so that's one of the main reasons why we're doing what we're doing. Like we always say, we're athletes trying to help athletes. So
Yeah,
we always
absolutely.
want to bring that to the table. So let's give the people a few things to remember. We always got to give y'all things, our top things to remember um, from our discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. So, top things to remember: number one, get assessed, get that baseline information, stop guessing. I'm gonna be real. Like, just stop guessing.
Yeah.
That's tiring. It's tiring, and you don't have that kind of time to be guessing. So get assessed. Number two, fuel according to your needs. Fuel like an athlete. Like, you need more than the regular person, and and you need to accept that. And if you're having a hard time accepting that, there are people in this world that dedicate their time to helping get your mind right in regards to your relationship with food. So if you're struggling with that, reach out to us so we can connect you with the right person. Number
Mhm.
three, hydrate like a pro. Seriously, you're a pro or you're
Sip
trying to
on
be
water.
pro. Stop skimping on the hydration. And I understand a lot of people perish for lack of knowledge, not lack of knowledge,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
get your electrolytes, get your water, fuel, get your carb drinks if you need that. Everybody's different. So hydrate like you need to. We help people assess the hydration needs, sweat tests, things like that. So talk to us in regard to that. Number four, get sufficient sleep. I don't even know what else to say here. Just get some sleep. Like,
Necessary. Go to sleep.
lay yourself down and get some rest. Okay. And then lastly, invest in your team. Get the right people around
Thanks.
you. If you're struggling with nutrition, that's what we're here for. We have a coaching program. Apply to it. It's something that's totally worth your while. We do all of these things. We assess, we help with hydration and making sure we're doing sweat tests. Make sure you get your needs, your caloric intakes, macronutrient distributions. We talk about sleep and stress, all the things that you need from a nutrition aspect. If there's other things that you're looking
Yeah.
for, you need a referral, talk to us. We have people that we work with that specialize in other
A
areas.
long list.
Okay.
Hmm.
So that's what we're here for. And that's number five. These are all the gifts that keep giving as an athlete for sure.
Definitely. And if you're just looking for more information, you just want some updates, you want to stay in the know, we are always staying on top of what's going on in the world, what's going on in sports, what's going on in general wellness. And we drop everything in our newsletters and all updates in there. You can text the word power news to the number 22828, and you'll receive, just a little prompt to send us your email and get signed up for our newsletter. And our social media, we are literally on every single platform. So Instagram, it's power underscore portions. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcast, Spotify is all power portions. Look us up, follow us, and stay on top of what we have going on, because we try to literally talk about everything, and we post all our little tidbits on social media. So um, I enjoyed this topic. This was fun. I'm glad
Yeah,
to be back.
this was
Happy
fun.
holidays to
Y'all let us know.
everybody. Yeah,
Exactly. Happy holidays. Oh my gosh,
I
Christmas is
know.
almost here.
My favorite time of year.
Y'all let us
I
know
know.
what y'all want to hear about. Let us know
Yeah,
in the comments.
yeah.
Send us a message and let us know what y'all want to hear about. But until then,
This is
enjoy.
Steph. This is the Biscuit and Gravy in the Morning Show. We're out.
Peace.